Insights channel. Steve here, and today I'm going to read to you from some of my Insights books, from Jasher Insights Book 2 and some from Jubilee's Insights, and we're going to talk about a very interesting topic of animals, how to treat animals and how to treat the beasts on the planet, because you'll find nothing like unto these verses given here in the Apocrypha books. I was just looking up before 25 very good verses in the Bible mentioning animals and birds and mentioning how they should be treated kindly, and God created them to be taken care of by mankind and they're not supposed to be mistreated. I want to bring out some points here that according to the book of Jubilees, which is an ancient Hebrew book, I want to mention some of these outstanding things to start off with. According to the book of Jubilees, all the animals used to talk with mankind. At least they did with Adam and Eve. I think as soon as Adam and Eve got booted out of the Garden of Eden, then they lost that magical ability. It's a bit like those old Walt Disney cartoons where the girl will be talking with the bird or the animals. So without further ado, here is a verse out of my book Jubilee's Insights. And here we are in chapter 3, verse 28. And on that day was closed the mouth of all the beasts, and her cattle and the birds, and of whatever walks and whatever moves, so they could no longer speak. For they had all spoken with one another, in one lip and with one tongue. I said at the time, wow, close the mouth of all beasts, all cattle, the birds, and whatever walks, whatever moves, so they could no longer speak. Here we're told that at one time all the animals could talk with Adam and Eve. In the book of Jasher, it makes the point that God created man able to speak, or endowed with speech, as it says. It makes the point that God created man able to speak as though that was a new thing, special to the physical dimension. They obviously communicate in a different way in the spirit world. From all accounts, it's like to be telepathy. It says that in Jasher 1:2. And God formed man from the ground, and he blew into his nostrils the breath of life. Man became a living soul endowed with speech. And that was the time of Adam and Eve getting kicked out of the Garden of Eden. And we have some evidence, both in the Bible and the Apocrypha books, about animals suddenly talking to man for one reason or the other. In both cases it says that God allowed the animals to suddenly speak. And I'll read you a bit from that. It's quite interesting. You all know the story from the Bible of Balaam and his ass that suddenly talked to the prophet and asked him, why have you been beating me these 3 times? And you know that story of Balaam, so I won't get into that one right now. But I'm going to read you a unique story here in the book of Jasher of what happened when Jacob's sons came back and told Jacob, oh, your son Joseph was being slain by a wild animal. So you got this scene where Jacob's sons come to him, oh, our brother Joseph was slain by a wild beast, a wolf or something. And then Jacob was so distraught. And eventually he came around and he said to his son, look, go out there and catch the first wild animal you see and bring it back here. So I'll have a good talk to him and more. So the sons of Jacob went into the wilderness to seize the beasts. And behold, a wolf came towards them, and they seized him and brought him unto their father. And they said unto him, this is the first wild beast we found, and we have brought him up to thee, as thou didst command us. And thy son's body we could not find. And Jacob took the beast, the wolf, female wolf, from the hands of his sons, and he cried out with a loud and weeping voice, holding the beast in his hand. And he spake with a bitter heart unto the beast, Why didst thou devour my son Joseph? And how didst thou have no fear of God, of the earth, or of my trouble for my son Joseph? And thou didst devour my son for naught, because he committed no violence, and didst therefore render me culpable on his account. Therefore God will require him that is persecuted. And here's the unique verse here. This is Jasher 43:43. And the Lord opened the mouth of the beast in order to comfort Jacob with its words. It says the same in the Bible in the story of Balaam, and God opened the mouth of the beast. And it answered Jacob and spoke these words unto him. Comment 6. Open the mouth of the beast. A very unusual situation where God actually opens the mouth of an animal to speak in a human language. This also happened in the Bible when Balaam's ass suddenly started talking to him, time of great anguish. Numbers 22:28. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, What have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? It also mentioned the above verse that God had opened the mouth of the wolf to actually speak to Jacob in order to be a comfort to him. However, we notice that Jacob refused to be comforted, which is a sort of rebellion against the Spirit of God, and as a direct result, caused the death of his daughter Dinah, according to the book of Jubilees, and his concubine, because of excessive grief, which wasn't a good example to those younger and weaker unto himself. Yeah, you've got to see my new book, Secrets of Enoch, chapter 58 and 59, about the beasts, what God says about those who mistreat animals. Not good. Verse 44. As God lives who created us in the earth, as thy soul lives, my Lord. Now this is the wolf now talking to Jacob, and you can find this in Jubilees chapter 43:44 verse. As God lives who created us in the earth, and as thy soul lives, my Lord, I did not see thy son, neither did I tear him in pieces, but from a distant land I also came to seek my son, who went from me this day, and I know not whether he be living or dead. And I came to this field to seek my son, and your sons found me and seized me, and increased my grief, and have this day brought me before thee. I have now spoken all my words to thee. And now therefore, Son of man, I am in thy hands. Do unto me this day as it seems good in thy sight. But by the life of God who created me, I did not see thy son, nor did I tear him in pieces, neither has the flesh of man entered my mouth all the days of my life. And when Jacob heard the words of the beast, he was greatly astonished, and sent forth the beast from his hand, and she went her way. Interesting, in both the case of Balaam's ass and Jacob's wolf, they were both female. Unfortunately, their situations were resolved. Now I want to read to you from my new book, my 11th book, based on the second book of Enoch, Secrets of Enoch, Insights, because I think you'll find this quite interesting. This is about beasts and about a warning to people not to mistreat the beasts on the earth. So this is from my book, Secrets of Enoch, which is from the second book of Enoch. And here's Enoch talking to his sons just before he's taken up to heaven. Translated. So it says this: Listen to me, my children, today. In those days when the Lord came down onto the earth for Adam's sake, visited all his creatures, which he created himself. After all these he created Adam, and the Lord called all the beasts of the earth, all the reptiles, all the birds that soar in the air, and brought them all before the face of our father Adam. And Adam gave names to all things living on earth. The Lord will not judge a single soul of beast for man's sake, but he judges the souls of men to their beasts in this world. for men have a special place. And as every soul of man is according to number, similarly, beasts will not perish, nor all souls of beasts, which the Lord created, till the great judgment, and they will accuse man if he fed them ill. And it says, whosoever defiles the soul of beasts defiles his own soul. Quite amazing. And here's another one. For man brings clean animals to make sacrifices for sin, he may have cure for his soul. And if they bring for sacrifice clean animals and birds, man has cure, it cures his soul. All is given to you for food. Bind it by the 4 feet, that it make good the cure, he cures his soul. But whosoever kills beasts without wounds kills his own soul, defiles his own flesh. And he who does any beast any injury whatsoever, in secret, in evil practice, he defiles his own soul. I know there's some amazing stuff here, probably stuff you're not familiar with at all. And it goes on to say, he who works a killing of a man's soul kills his own soul. But also here, he's talking about animals pretty much in the same way. Now we know that God put mankind over the animals, or above them. And let me point out here the distinction. Before the flood, people were only eating fruit and vegetables and seeds and that. And then after the flood, God told Noah to eat the meat and the animals after the flood. That's according to the Bible. But here it's warning about doing injury to animals and beasts. And it's also mentioned they have a soul. This is very interesting because a lot of people dispute that and say, oh no, animals don't have a soul. Well, I want to point out something. Animals do have souls. I'll give you a simple example. My daughter sadly had to witness the putting down of one of our cats because it was too injured and too harmed. And they had to put it down. And she got all emotional because when they put the cat down, she said she could see the light in the animal or the beast go out. Yes. So you could tell the animals have a soul, and they do. And apparently God allows us to kill animals for the sake of, like cows and animals for meat. But you're not supposed to be cruel to animals, and if you are, you will be held accountable. And like I said, I saw 25 beautiful verses in the Bible itself talking about the importance of being kind to animals, because how you treat them will count either for your blessing or for your curse. So I think it's just to point out, especially those of you out there who have animals, who have either beasts of the field or we have pets, to be kind to the animals, because how you treat them, you will be judged for it. It's important to be kind and loving with God's creatures. Well, that's basically what I wanted to show you today. Just some verses that talk about that animals have souls, so do birds, and also that they're not to the same level, of course, as mankind. No, they're not. But that you're supposed to be kind to them, take care of them, because there is some sort of judgment for those who are cruel to animals. You can be sure of that. It's written here in the Apocrypha books. It's actually written in the Bible too. So, thanks for listening. I hope you will get my Insights books. That I was reading from Jasher Insights book 2, and from Jubilee's Insights, and also from a new book I'm going to publish in a month's time called Secrets of Enoch Insights, which will be my 11th book. So my books are Out of the Bottomless Pit 1 and 2, both about the paranormal and the supernatural, and then 9 Insights book, Enoch Insights 1 and 2, Jasher Insights 1 and 2, Jubilee Insights, Eden Insights, Testament of the 12 Patriarchs Insights, Esdras Insights. So, thanks for listening.